Still the middle of winter, it certainly feels that way. Maybe you're feeling a little bit down, but don't worry, we have some ideas for you to brighten up your home. I'm joined, you know him, lifestyle expert Mark Jennings. Always a pleasure, always a great day, and always a warm sunny day inside the building when you're here. And we're talking terrariums today.
We are.
What are they?
And you know, terrariums, it's not anything new, but with the great movement on being green, more and more people have started to introduce these type of self-contained, beautiful vessels filled with greenery into their home.
So it's not just a house plant, but really kind of a little ecosystem.
Absolutely. Now, when I wrote my first book, Life on Mars, Creating Casual Luxury, one of my 6 core design principles was to embrace Mother Nature's colors and textures.
Indoors.
Indoors. This is a great way to do that. And let's first start with what you need, because it's really easy, and I'm going to have you reference basically the outdoors, like your own backyard, things that you'd find in your backyard. That's basically what you're going to mimic in the glass vessel. So what you're going to need, which is very important, is you're going to start with a little bit of charcoal. Now this charcoal is very important because it's the base of what you start building on. And the reason why we use charcoal is because when you water, the water has no place to drain. So it eliminates any odor in the water when it sits.
And I would think mold too, that would sort of have an anti-mold characteristic, or does it?
Not really. It's more for the smell of the water, and so the roots are basically protected and away from where the water may sit. Gotcha. Now, you want to forage, and different things are available. You know, we have Terrain in Westport, which is one of my favorite stores, but you can go to any garden center that would have these supplies for you, okay? You want to basically have some nice little plants. You can also go with a larger plant that you can get at your grocery store as well if you have a bigger vessel. But I have these little tiny plants that I'm going to work with. And then I have some wood. This you can find in the forest, okay? And then there's a lot of different rocks that really add great texture. And then reindeer moss. There's also lichen moss, or my favorite, it's just really traditional moss, okay? And these are all the different pieces that really add that color and texture that really inspire Mother Nature when it's in your home.
And they're easy to find too.
And we're going to do this really quick. So you can hand me some things, and I'm just going to pop this in here. I've already added some topsoil, so I have a great vessel. I'm going to pop some of these in. Give me anything you want.
Anything. Okay, how about
all right,
this
you're going
guy?
to give me another plant. Good. I'm going to put that over here.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be a plant.
Any order. Give me whatever you want. I'm just going to show you how quickly. Some lichen. Great. We'll put that there for a little bit of texture. And give me another plant there. See, we'll put you to work, and it doesn't take long, but you'll watch how we could very quickly create this little oasis, and we'll pop that in right over here, and then watch this.
Because it really decorates. It reminds me of sort of when people have fish tanks. I mean, with a bunch of fish is great, but when you have sort of that seascape, now this is, of course, is a landscape.
Yeah.
The terraire part of it, that is
terrain.
Right. It means terrain, right?
Now, what you want to make sure is that you want to have fun with this, and you know, this is a great project for the kids to get involved as well, and it's self-sustaining itself with all the different color and texture is one thing, but what you're doing is you're creating, as you mentioned, this little ecosystem in here that gives it a great deal of invitation that spring is arriving, especially right now when we have snow coming in.
Oh, yeah.
The best way to counteract any kind of cold weather.
How much do you need to water something like this?
You know, it's once a week. You're going to add a little bit of water to it, and then basically that's it. You're going to let it sit. And the reason why you don't want to overwater it is because it really doesn't need a lot of water, because if you notice, the water is not going to go anywhere. It's just going to end up down here.
How do you choose what kind of vessel? Because I noticed you have this one, which is shallow but wide.
Great question.
Yeah.
It's a personal choice. You know, I have done very large vessels. I've done very flat vessels. You can go to any off-price store and find a very inexpensive piece of glass that can work for this project, and just kind of look at it as, where do I want to get that powerful essence of vegetation in my house? And then decide, okay, I want it to be at least a foot wide. I want it to be at least a foot and a half tall. And then go and find that vessel, because this is pretty inexpensive. And especially once you do one, you'll find yourself that you're really hooked, and you'll want to start giving these as gifts as well. And, you know, we have a lot of different occasions that, you know, this is a perfect gift for us. It's a gift that keeps giving.
How big can something like this grow? Because I would imagine they do a lot of it.
That's a great question. Okay, look at this one here. This one's been around. I just added 2 new plants, this one and this one over here, but this one's over 1.5 years. Okay?
Really?
This one is 2 years old.
Oh, no kidding.
Now, what has happened is when this one first started, it was very small like this, but it's grown and it's kind of filled that area. And you can go in just like you would in your garden. You would trim back, you would kind of shape things, you maybe go in a couple months, add a little bit of moss to freshen up the landscape, and voila, it really just changes everything altogether.
But start with the charcoal in the vessel and then work your way up.
Yeah, start with the charcoal, then add some soil, and then go ahead and start integrating all these great little pieces into it. And before you know it, voila.
Just like that. Mark Jennings, just a couple minutes old and look at it already. All right, thanks for coming in. Hey, you make me always think of spring, my friend.